I think that othering and belonging, particularly, are kind of the dualities, one of the most important dualities that we're seeing right now in the world. I think that especially belonging means that I can be part in all of my kind of multitudes of my identities and who I am.
There are a few things that we really want to push people to think about and take away from the conference. One is to really consider, what does a democracy rooted in belonging actually look like? What is our larger vision, not just what are we against? The other is, how can we bridge, how can we continue to expand who is in our we, even as we do the work to oppose authoritarianism and counter the far right? How can we continue to bring people in and not cut people out?
The goal is all the same, and that's to advance a world where everyone belongs and to strengthen what democracy can look like for all people in multiple contexts.
Recognizing our interdependent oneness as a people around the world is something that has to be the foundation of all of our structures, all of our relationships.
And one of the big takeaways for me is feeling that sense of not feeling so alone, or feeling belonging within a larger collective.
What I love so much about this conference is that this conference creates a space for us to be here in all of the aspects that make us who we are. And I see this through music that is part of this. I see this just through the conversations that I've had with so many interesting people. I've seen this on the panels also, where we really come together and think about ways of how we can belong and how this belonging can be extended ultimately to everyone.
So the people here are doers. Some of them are writers, some of them are cultural workers, some of them are activists, some of them are related to government. So I'm hoping that both in their work and new relationships and new urgency comes out of that. Build those connections, build those bridges, practice that, and continue to learn and grow.
I am leaving the conference with a reinvigoration of hope. I've been totally inspired listening to people talk about coming together and practicing radical love in an incredibly divisive world, when it feels like a lot of the instruments and narratives right now are centered around forming dichotomies and reinforcing them. And I think this conference really reinforced a sense of recentering humanity, and I can't wait to see where that applies in my research ahead.
In this conference, it makes me increasingly reflect, and I get more resources in order to put into action my own inner bridges. I go away from here with much more questions than answers, but it's feeling very good for me. Exactly that.
We have to gather and think together, slowly, eat together, drink together, put our heads together, put our hearts together, dance together. Somewhere in the midst of these feedback loops, change happens.
We surely need more spaces like these, of bridging, of coming together, of finding new ways to write this new story of belonging. And that ultimately, I think, when in a time where othering is rooted in fear, that the counter response can only be love.